Well, good evening, all my little Pokemans. Mewtwo here with you tonight, and, well, we're going to do something, hopefully a little educational and helpful. This is going to be a multi-part series that I'm going to go through here, because if I sat and did this all in one video, it would get long, boring, and no one would make it through. But we're going to go through the process of buying a house. I know. This is normally a channel where you go look at something fluffy and cute wearing a dress. Well, today, I'm going to learn you something. Or at least help give some perspective on the idea of doing this. Not everybody on my channel is the same age group. I'm sure there's some young people and some older people. So, some people may not have had this kind of experience yet, either because they're too young or they've never had an opportunity to do so. It's hard to say. But if I can give some perspective on this, then I hope it will help at least someone out there. At least one of you might get something out of this. Either tell them, yes, I should work on getting a house that I purchase as opposed to a renting or staying in with someone else. Or no, I can realize this is not something that's going to be possible in my situation. Depending on your area, the cost of owning a house can be astronomical. Whereas even renting is astronomical, but it's kind of impossible in some areas to actually buy a house. So we're going to start here in the beginning. And this is the real beginning of the process. Saving money. And yes, this will definitely be multi-part, so stay tuned for part 2 later. Don't forget both my Patreon link and my Ko-fi link are in the description box below, both of which are great ways to support me and my channel and help me make better videos for you, the amazing public. Perspective on this one for savings. We had a small apartment for the two of us for 8 years. We had a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, kitchen and living room, 3rd floor, fire escape entrance only apartment. Now, the reason why we did that is because well, first, we had no credit when we got that place. We needed to be able to get someplace that didn't have a problem with that. So, we had no credit. We got that place. It was also really cheap. And we stuck with it until the price started going up. Which kind of lit the fire under us saying, you know, we saved up enough. Let's work on the process. Also, having credit is actually definitively important here. You need credit to buy a house. That is not a if, and, or maybe. You need this. What we did first was we got credit cards from the bank where our checking account was. We had checking accounts there because we had consistent money going in and out of our accounts. They trusted us enough to give us our first cards. No fees, fortunately. As soon as you have any credit, you get other credit cards. Make sure you spend money on it. Pay it off. You could pay it like 2 days from then when the money shows up on the account if you can pay online. Do it. You still count as having had credit. If you never pay interest, you're just buying the thing you would have bought anyway. Putting gas in your car, buying that loaf of bread for the week, or whatever. I use something very vague there. Whatever food you need, buy it on the credit card, pay the credit card off immediately, you get credit, and other credit cards start coming in your mail. So then you can get another free credit card and have more balance capable. The more you have, the more credit you generate. It's an endless good cycle as long as you only spend what you can pay. Don't spend more money just because the magic card has a $500 limit, has a $2,000 limit, has a $10,000 limit. Just buy what you would have normally bought anyway. Pay it off right away. And for a bonus, any cards you get with cashback rewards of any kind, those are free money as long as you didn't have to pay interest on the account. At this point, I use 2 different cards. Both have cashback rewards. Both have, I don't know what the interest rates are, honestly, because I never pay any. So that's a very important part. Get some credit. Saving money, though, that is the other biggest part of starting this process. You need to have money saved to start the process of buying a house. First off, you need a good 10% down on the house. Minimum. If you can save up 20%, that's better. If you want to take a perspective on how much you'd end up paying per month on a place and how much you can afford to get place-wise, go to a place like Zillow.com or Realtor.com. Look at a house in the area where you plan on actually buying. Find something that looks big enough for you. And just look at what the monthly pay that the estimate is. This is not a perfect guarantee of exactly how much you'll be paying, but take into perspective how much you're paying in rent at your current location so you know how much you're already putting out. We'll just use a round number. $700. All right. You were currently paying $700 at your apartment. I know, many of you are saying, I wish, especially depending on if you're in an expensive neighborhood. But we'll just use that as our example. So, you go look up a house, and if I remember right, from the last time I looked, that's about the equivalent of buying a $100,000 house. Give or take. Again, I'm just throwing numbers in here to try and make some concept, so you know what I mean. Definitely check all your finances yourself, double check all the numbers in your area, etc., tax rates, interest rates, insurance rates, and all that other hoo-ha that may or may not make these numbers bigger. So, theoretically, you say you had $700 a month rent, and you then get a house that you're looking at potentially a house that has a $700 a month payment. Approximately. It's okay if you're paying a little more than you are for your rent if it's for a house as opposed to paying for the apartment. Most every time, I have yet to see someone, unless they moved to a really ritzy neighborhood from where they were, paying more per square foot for a house they're buying than an apartment they were renting. Really easily, you're going to save money in similar location as for buying than for renting. Now, find out how much that house is going to be. We'll just use the $700 a month and a $100,000 house as an example. Good luck out there finding these things both in existence anymore. But I'm using numbers from things I remember looking at back when I house shopped. So, for that $100,000 house you're thinking about, give or take, you need to save up at least, minimum, for a $100,000 house, $10,000 for the down payment part. Good news is, that is actually $10,000 worth of equity you get right on the money. You are officially owning $10,000 worth of a house from the day you put that down. That's some good perspective on that. You actually own something then that is resellable. So it's not like you threw that $10,000 in the garbage can. You officially own 10% of a house. Good for you. That's not where this game ends, though. Now, you've saved up some money. Good. Make sure it's enough. This is not the only fee you're going to have to pay. There are other charges involved here. You need to pay for an inspection of the house you're looking to buy. You have to pay an inspector to come and inspect the house for your knowledge, so you know what's going on. That can be $100, $200 something dollars. A home inspector gets to meet you at the location you're looking into. They come and look at the house and give you any knowledge you need to know about what's actually right or wrong with it. Finding things wrong with it does not make it a break deal. Okay, very important. Do not just assume that, oh, this house has one of the outlets in the living room has an inverted voltage. It's fixable. If you get a screwdriver, you can turn the power off and reverse the 2 wires. That's actually super easy. You don't need an electrical degree for that one. Just turn the power off to the room first. But this would also be able to let you know if there was leaking in the attic, or if that you wouldn't have noticed, or if the furnace is definitely not a safe one, if something is severely out of code that would be dangerous to you, the home buyer. So that's a very important part. You really need to make sure you get a good home inspector. Walk through the house with them as they're doing their thing. They give you a full friggin' report to let you know what was and wasn't good about the house. And you can use that in the final negotiations when you're purchasing, saying, these things I would like to knock down the price because of X, Y, and Z, if there's enough things that are wrong that you know need fixing because of code violations, safety, etc. It's not usually cool to try and ask for money down on the house because you think the dining room should have been mauve walls instead of the beige that ours currently is. By the way, this is the dining room of the house we are in right now, so just for that. This is the dining room. This is what a dining room looks like whenever geeks like us buy a house and don't care about having a dining room. I'll try to stay on topic. So you have your inspection. That's a few $100s. You need to add that into your estimated costs, upfront costs. So you were at $10,000 already. Add another $300 to $500 in case for the inspections. Because sometimes you pay for an inspector for you, but you may also have to pay for an inspector per your bank for their inspection of the house as well. So they may also make you pay for their inspection, which is not the same as your inspection. Basically, that's their security. They're making sure, again, if they're going to give you a loan for this house, they want to make sure they're giving you effectively $90,000 to borrow, because you're putting $10,000 down. And they want to make sure it's not on a lean-to that's on fire. Now, additionally, we've already ranked up a few $100 extra worth of fees, but we're not done yet. You also need to make sure you have homeowners insurance lined up. In our case, I know the bank would not even put in an option to talk about a loan until we had homeowners insurance approved. Now, you normally don't have to pay a premium at all until you own a house. It's like you just have to be able to go to whoever you're going to get it through. Nationwide, Geico, Farmers, whoever you're getting your homeowners insurance through. They basically say, yeah, we think you're not stupid. You have credit. We're going to let you have homeowners insurance through us. They may even go over some of the basic details, like what we can cover, etc., etc. But all in all, the actual rate doesn't exist until you're buying a house normally. And then you're effectively paying it for the house, the value of the house. Kind of like car insurance, similar thing. Car insurance is valued partly on you're driving, and partly on your car's value. So, because if that car explodes because someone hits it and your insurance has to pay for it, then you know they're charging you enough to cover that explosion. Well, I mean, that's all relative. Let's put that all in the relative stuff. But yeah, it's based on the value of the house, etc. All right. Now, they may though make you pay as you're signing the first 6 months or year up front on the insurance. This is a possibility. It's not a guarantee. Sometimes that does happen. So you may have to incorporate $600 or $700 or more into your pre-purchase money you have to deal with. This is annoying, but again, that's money you're paying towards the homeowner's insurance. You would have been paying for that first 6 months, 1 year, 3 months, whatever period they may make you pay ahead of time. So that's another little chunk. A little kind of a hidden fee, which usually when looking at house, your realtor will be able to know about, and it should be listed on those realtor websites. If there's a homeowner's insurance, a homeowner's association fee in that location. A lot of areas have these, especially suburban areas nowadays, often have at least some kind of fee. I have friends who live in places where the annual fee is several $100s. Where we live, it's mostly hands-off HOA, and it's only $35 a year. I'm not sure what it even covers. Just the fact that they're out there making sure that nobody's breaking the minimal rules. Am I concerned by whatever my HOA is going to say? Strangely, yes. I'm sure I've broken a rule and I haven't found out about it yet. I'm sure a lot of people have. They often will give you like a novel worth of rules of what all you have to do and don't do in your area. But so far, I've not done anything that's gotten me in trouble in 5 years, so knock on wood, we're not in trouble. But that's another little hidden charge you do need to look out for. Usually if you're buying a house, say mid-year, depending on when their premium was towards their homeowner's insurance, you may have to pay that fee back to the previous owner up until the point of covering the remaining chunk of the year. Say it's 3 months in since the payment, you owe them back 3/4 of the annual homeowners association fee. Also not a big deal, kind of expected once you know it exists. But very important to keep an eye on that charge as well. Sometimes you'll have to pay for closing costs, but oftentimes you can have that get rolled into the fees the owner pays out of their earnings from the sale. Sometimes you will have to pay other odd fees, other bank-related fees. money transfer fees, stuff like that that you may not really be thinking about. These fees could exist. My rule of thumb on this was $100,000 house, $10,000 down payment, have at least another $10,000 sitting there as well. So $20,000. No, you're not going to get to pay 20% down, but this will at least mean you have a foot in the door. Okay. Well, I think we're running out of steam for today. I don't want to get too deep in any video. I want to make sure I'm keeping your attention as much as I can. But I will do more of these. I will give you more information. So for now, definitely don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that little dingly bell for the little dingly bell. Let you know when I post new videos, including, I'll probably post these once a week, so you'll see this again same day that I post this one next week. I will do my best to post the next one. So, yeah. First, both my Patreon link and my Ko-fi link are in the description box below, both of which help support me and my channel, and help me make better videos for you, my awesome public, and helps pay for the house that we're talking about. So, those are good things. Alright. Well, this Mewtwo is going to sign off, and I look forward to talking to you more about house stuff on the next video. For now, ciao.